Enemies close,
Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's your opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, give money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up.
Don't unplug anything. Let's go. Clap hands there. Sinker. Professional, see? Add it in because it could be a
t-shirt in the way.
Yes, indeed.
Did you wear yours?
I know. You had to do that, didn't you?
I bought mine.
He bought his. Podcast Nation. You can do it now for Rhodri Giggs and Rhodri Giggs on Football Friday 7:30.
I'll just start it.
What's happening? Little clip for the old school. I definitely didn't press the wrong intro, whatever you say. What is happening? Welcome back. Everything is right with the world. Rhodri Giggs in Football is back for Series 3, and I've been holding the fort by myself for weeks. But the man, the enigma that is Rhodri Giggs, is back and in the building. How are you, my friend? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Golfing it up.
Yeah, golfing today, so caught the sun a bit. So, but I had a banging score today. My score's going to come down massively today. So playoff 7, right? So I had playoff 7, and I had an eagle putt to shoot a 69 gross. And I missed it and birdie and got 70. So, shot 44 points, 20 points. Whoever knows, people are going, what is he talking about? But people who understand golf,
they
20
know.
points out, 24 in. So,
take that all day.
In circle this week, and it was a comp as well. So,
So you've been flying today. You've got to take that form now into your Super 6 and your fantasy football. Because
exactly,
it did not go so well last year for you.
No. I had a stink last year.
In fairness, Super 6, mate, is 2-0 comfortably 2-0 to myself. So, of course, for those who don't know, any newcomers and whatnot, we do a charity Super 6 prediction league to raise money for charity through Will Melu. So you probably see him in the chat in a minute. And he's added a fantasy football league to that as well. If you want to get involved and you're not already, then hit Will up. He should be in the chat. He was in just now for the championship show, which we did just before this. So welcome back to the folks who've done the both. We're going to talk all things football as we do. Rhodri's going to sort his dog out, and Will is
that picture was doing me head in because it was. So yeah, just fixing
reflecting.
it.
Yeah, so Will's in the chat. So if anyone wants to join and they're not already joined, hit Will up in the chat, and he'll sort you out and add you to the fantasy league. And if you're listening on the Sports Social Podcast Network, send us a DM or something, and we'll put you in touch with Will. But get involved. You can watch me decimate Rhodri in the Super 6 again, and I'm not very good at fantasy football league, so that's going to be painful to watch. Mate, there is stuff going on in the transfers, even up to the starts this weekend. There's still transfers and things are flying. Maguire's going to West Ham.
Scrambling now, aren't they?
Yeah, everyone's panicking, aren't they? But I am interested. So I think we'll talk about your club quickly first, then, right? I think United have been about as clever and efficient as they have been this window, as they have been since Fergie left, since Fergie was there. They've been really clever. They've bought players who they needed, players which fit the system, players which know the manager, but also they went in for Harry Kane, didn't like the price, but they also knew that Spurs had leverage on them because everyone in the world knows United need a striker. So they went off, did their business, got a striker, and now just waited for Bayern Munich to eventually have a bid accepted. Because it seems to be, if you listen to the pundits, like the English pundits, they're all very confident that Harry Kane is not leaving the Premier League, which to me, they say that they haven't got any inside knowledge, but I don't think they come out as confidently as they have if they don't at least have a little bit of a whisper that he doesn't want to go abroad. He obviously is in line for the Premier League goal scorers record. And now today, straight after, within 2 hours of the Bayern deal being agreed with Spurs, I think it was Christian Falk in Germany, but a couple of German reporters have said that United, Chelsea, and Paris have all come in and kind of matched that bid. And it's going to be down to Harry Kane, isn't it? Like, I had Theo on Monday with me from the Shed End podcast, and he said, like, Chelsea and Tottenham just don't do business. That I think we found about 3 deals in the last 25 years. So it's very unlikely he's going to go there. If he turns down Bayern, does Daniel Levy have to sell him to United or Paris?
Well, he's only got Paris.
You wouldn't think so, but...
Why would he go there? Because Mbappe's not leaving, because he looks like his toys are throughout his prime and he's digging his heels in. So it'd be pretty daft to have Neymar. I know they had Messi there, but Messi can play.
They seem to be moving away from that as well, don't they?
Harry Kane's a number 9. So, yeah, he's not going to go to Paris. So that only leaves United, or he's he holds all the cards really. He's got a year left. He's probably pissed off with Daniel Levy because he wanted to go to City and he didn't have the chance, and then City have gone and won the treble. So he could have been scored all them goals that Haaland had scored quite easily at a City team and won the treble. So he's probably a bit annoyed seeing that and thinking, you know what, I'm either going to go where I want to go, or I'm going to see me be contract out and then end up, I can choose where I want to go. It's my choice, and I get a big lump sum. So it's win-win.
I thought
so
what was quite
all the cards. So yes, they've accepted it because Daniel Levy's a businessman. He's for 95 million. He's got a year left. He can leave for nothing. Boom, let's get him out. Harry Kane's gone. I ain't going nowhere.
And this is the thing. It's like, so the thing which was quite telling to me is Carragher and Neville saying that when you speak to Alan Shearer and you ask him, like, does he regret not going to United, blah, 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 or was he happy?
Lying. He's lying.
But he says that his job was to score goals. So he takes the individual clause, like the Premier League record means more to him than the title with Blackburn, say, right?
Do you really think, right? Because we've all got records, but what record would you have? Highest goal scorer or most decorated footballer with most medals? I know I know what I want to be, and that's what he could have had, because he could have left. He could have gone not to Blackburn and come to United. That was in 1994, 93, 94.
I agree with you. But my point is, if that's the case,
he would have been up there with that. He would have been up there with that good amount of medals. So,
yeah. But if that's the case, surely
when he says that, he's just talking shit. I think he's just talking crap, because the amount of medals he could have won is like 30 medals. That kid's like 35 or something like that. Daft. He could have had that many. Instead, he wants selfish individual record. It's not an individual game football. It's team sport, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but if that's the case,
Plus,
surely
I don't like him anyway. He's a fucking
yeah.
prick. Just get him. Can't wait for Harry Kane to be here. I can't wait.
And we're back. Let's go. No, but if that's the case, surely Harry Kane just goes to Bayern Munich because he's going to win the German league for the next 5-6 years. He's going to compete for the Champions League. He's going to get
if
German cups.
I understand that, but if it holds another year, he gets a big lump sum, and he'll be that much closer to Alan Shearer's record. Plus, he can stay in the Premier League and do all them things with a different club. He could go to Newcastle. They could still be in the Champions League next year. Who knows? He could go to United. He could go to City. You know, who knows what could happen there?
Yeah.
Who else is there? He's not know Arsenal. He's not know Chelsea. So there's Liverpool. Yeah, there's a good option for him as well. Liverpool. Yeah, it's a great option for him.
Like now they don't need him.
Goals there as well, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and that's the thing. Like, if he's got his heart set on going now, and they're going to sell him for money. If he stays in the Premier League, I think he's got to go to United. If he goes abroad,
do you see Harry Kane in a Liverpool shirt?
I don't. But then a year from now, Liverpool will need a striker.
No, yeah, I understand that. But
and he's free. When he's on a free,
it all depends how this kid does as well.
Yeah. But then I think United's plan at the start of the summer for United, and I think I might have said this to you in one of the last shows we did. I think the plan for United was to get Kane and to get Højlund and just let Højlund have time coming off the bench.
Yeah. He's still going to get 30 odd games, isn't he?
Yeah, of course you are. God, and the rest. Like, it's not like he's going to be like McTominay or something or Harry Maguire playing 5 games or whatever in the second half of the season. But I just thought it's unusual for United in recent years to be as clever as they have in the transfer window as they have this year. I think they've been really clever. And I watch all these pundits talking about how Arsenal are going to win the league. And I just don't see it, mate. I see Chelsea. I look at Chelsea squad. I look at the new manager at Chelsea. They got no European distractions. So I think they'll be in the top 3.
Neither with Liverpool as well.
Liverpool got Europa League, haven't they?
Oh, they in the Europa League then, are they?
They are, yeah. And I think if Liverpool don't, so this is Liverpool are like a bit of a fine line. If they sign Lavia or Casado, I think they'll do very well. If they don't sign
the short in the midfield, they've got a lot of experience, mate, around that changing room and dressing room.
But the 2 they've brought in are very good, but they haven't got a defensive midfielder like at all.
Milner and Henderson is a big loss in one season.
Yeah,
big loss.
I agree. And that's why they're desperate for a holding midfielder. Southampton know that.
They need a good start as well. To get a good start, I think they'll do well. But if they start, rocking, I think Arsenal struggle as well this year.
The predictions that I did for someone else's show the other day, I didn't even have Arsenal in my top 4, and people think I'm like being mad. But so Timber, phenomenal! What a great signing he is for Arsenal. Do a great job. He can play centre back as well if they have any injuries. He is a great defender for the next 10 years. Havertz, they've signed as a number 8 midfielder. He's shit. It's not him, and he's shit at what he does anyway, but he's certainly not a midfielder. And Declan Rice, right? Declan Rice is a good Premier League midfielder, and he might do really well for Arsenal. But you know more than football. You played football at a high level than me, mate. Playing holding midfielder for West Ham is very different to playing holding midfielder for Arsenal, because you're playing in the other team's half. You're higher up the pitch. He was like a third centre back for West Ham.
He has done well for England as well, though.
Yeah, but they play deep as well. They don't play a high line on the halfway line. That's why Maguire looks good for him.
Oh, they do against the top teams, but when they play the teams, yeah, I agree. I don't see a £105 million player. I just don't see it. Like I didn't see what if they played for Sancho. Don't see that.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham, I haven't seen enough of him, to be honest, but I don't see the 105 million. I've seen it a little bit over the summer, thinking, well, okay, but it's a lot of money that for a young kid. But I would rather gamble on him than Declan Rice.
So let me ask you a question, right? At the start of the season, start of the summer, United needed a central midfielder or two. If you had the choice of spending 90 million, say, on Caicedo, Declan Rice, or Lavia, what order would you put them in terms of which one you'd have wanted?
Say that Caicedo will be first. Who's the other two?
Lavia from Southampton or Declan Rice?
Declan Rice, Lavia.
Okay. So why are clubs refusing to pay 90 million, I think Brighton want for Caicedo? I don't understand. He's got everything, like age, ability. He's got everything on his side, but for some reason...
You don't need to sell him.
You are?
You don't need to sell him, so they can ask whatever price they want.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, why aren't the big clubs willing to pay that price for him?
A lot of money.
But they were happy to pay whatever it is for Declan Rice. I don't understand it.
It's always been the way, mate, with English teams or British players. They always go more. I don't know why it is. I don't know why it is. So,
but then, do you know, I look at Liverpool, right, mate, and I look at how much money they've brought in and what they've spent on McAllister and that other midfielder. Like, I just don't understand why they're not putting that money and a little bit of what they've got in the coffers towards Caicedo, because Caicedo fixes the problem they've got. And Chelsea have now gone in for Lavia, which has put Liverpool up shit creek. And it's like, I don't quite know what they're doing.
Kind of crazy that someone's £48 million. He's just been relegated. It's like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's Declan Rice deal has skewed all the prices, haven't it? Because everyone's going, well, if he's worth 105, Lavia's 19, and Caicedo, this is what it is, isn't it? But
when you don't need to sell him, well, that's the price. Don't want him, don't have him. But that's the price. Look what he's just been for. We value our player just as good as him. Simple. So have a cough up or move on.
Yeah. I think he's going to. It looks like Chelsea have. But then I wonder if Chelsea
a lot of players recently for a lot of money, so they won't be skinned. Their bank will be brimming.
Yeah, I mean they're happy, they? They got money. They've had money coming in, and I think ultimately, I wonder if because Chelsea have gone in for Lavia today and they've had a bid accepted, but I think Southampton got a bit annoyed with Liverpool because Liverpool were going up in like 3 million bids. So it was like, no, this is the price. So either pay it or fuck off. Like that's basically what they said. Chelsea
negotiation in its size. Like everyone's seen porn stars. You go 50, I go 40. All right, it's 45. Done.
But you could be insulting with it, can't you? Remember when Arsenal offered
this like what some of these Premier League bigwigs do to these teams, and some of them just don't know having it.
Well, remember when Arsenal offered for Suarez, didn't they? Like 40 million and a pound or something. It's just like go away.
Yeah. He's still turning down. He looks stupid.
Yeah, exactly that. What do you think of Harry Maguire going to West Ham? Do you think he'll do well?
It's a good move for him, that. It'd be a good move. Him and Tommy, if they go there. It'd be a good move. It's a nice place to play football. Look like they're bringing in some good signings from that money of Declan Rice. So if they sell this kid to City for another 60 million, then who knows? The Borough fan. Imagine getting beat at home on your first game of the season. Where's Leslie? Where's he been quiet this week? Imagine being at home thinking we're going to get promoted this year and then getting beat. Who did they get beat? It was something like Blackpool or something as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Leslie was quiet, messaging me saying complaining about his Paddy Power account, like I can do something about it.
Come on.
What about 800 quid on what level how much you want? He won a bit of quid on a free bet, and they fucking asked him for ID and all kinds of things.
Yeah. Who did they play? Middlesbrough? I've forgotten.
I can't remember. I know they got beat 1-0 at home though.
Millwall.
And
they just about scraped past Huddersfield then in the EFL Cup. But I think, like, I look at West Ham, mate. I said this the other day, right? West Ham, forward. They do need a striker, but they've signed that Edson Alvarez, who's good, decent midfielder. They've signed James Ward-Prowse, and they've signed Harry Maguire. If they add McTominay to that, their midfield looks really, really strong, and they look miles better than they did any time they had Declan Rice in the side last year. Miles better.
I don't think Declan Rice is much better than Scott McTominay, to be honest.
I mean, the Scott McTominay disrespect is mental to me. Like people saying, like making out like he's a championship player. He's, I think, 40 million for Scott McTominay.
If he played every week, he'd only get better as well. So because he don't play every week at United, but when he did, he did all right. I can remember when he played against Barcelona, he was man of the match that game. That was against Barcelona about 3 or 4 years ago. So he's got it in him. He just needs to. He's play every week. He's not playing.
He needs to play. But I also think under Ten Hag, they played him as like in the Casemiro role, which I don't think
is a lot more goals than Declan Rice did. I know that.
Yeah, I think he's better as either a box-to-box midfielder or even just behind a striker. Like I think he's better at that.
He's got the energies to go box to box.
Yeah, but I think when you ask him to play a holding midfielder, I think that's when he struggles and he gives the ball away a bit because
he likes to break out. So he
used to play striker, didn't he? But in the academy,
he needs to let him off his reins. Just go on, especially on that big pitch there at London Stadium.
I think him and Ward-Prowse would be a really good partnership.
Yeah. And someone else, yeah.
But West Ham need a striker. But there's a few clubs, mind you, could do with a striker, like, you know.
Well, Tyler Adams is a weird one, isn't it?
Who's that? Tyler Adams?
Yeah.
Where's he going?
The kid from Leeds, is it?
Yeah.
When he's going somewhere centre. Well, it's Chelsea in for him, no? Someone in for him.
I remember reading about him going to someone. He's supposed to be highly rated. I've never really fancied him.
Sure, somewhere he was Chelsea in for him.
Yeah, it looks like he's been heavily linked with Chelsea. Oh, there you are. He's had Fabrizio Romano's given a here we go. They've done that good. Oh, he had a release clause, 20 million release clause. So he's gone to Chelsea. Wow. That's an interesting deal because, like, I think he's the bits I've seen of him. I think he's all right. Like he's speedy, tricky, whatever. But 20 million seems like a bit of a. Chelsea don't care about money though. I suppose they.
No.
He's playing Championship Manager.
Aren't they?
Borough fan says I was on your side. Borough fan says I was on your side with Kane, and now you're having to go with Borough and him.
I'm only joking.
We're back.
That wasn't for him. He just reminded me about Leslie. He's always chirping about Middlesbrough. Not heard him this week.
Yeah, it's always the same. Reece says Declan Rice is not just 105 million for 1 year. It's a long-term signing. If he's there for 10 years, for example, it works out with like 10 million a signing. Yeah, look, I want to be clear. Like, I'm not saying Declan Rice is shit. I'm just saying
it won't be 10 million a signing because he'll have to pay more wages for the other 5 years, won't he?
Yeah, and he's not playing for free either, is he? Let's be honest. No. But also, I'm not saying he's I'm not saying he's crap. Like, he's just not a 105 million pound midfielder. If I'm signing a midfielder for 100 million, I want someone like Enzo Fernandez who plays for Chelsea, or someone who's going to go and score and make a difference and like transform my team.
We go back to what we said before. If teams don't want to sell them, then that's the price. If you match that price, then off you. And they look like they come to an agreement that if the player wanted out, he wanted to play at a high level. So
yeah, who do you think's done?
Really?
Which teams do you think have done good business in the summer? Like, who's caught your eye and you think they're going to do well?
I don't think it's finished yet. I think obviously United have done some good business. I think Chelsea have been acute, and Arsenal, Timber, Rice, and Havertz. Havertz puts like 60 million. I don't get that at all.
No, it's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I can't justify even like if I just try and be like, impartial. Yeah. I can't justify 65 million for Havertz. I can't think of a
what he offers. It's like the Fred 50 million. Like what?
Yeah. It just don't.
Like Chelsea, the extra email Havertz 60 million. Where's sold?
Yeah. they were emailing back super quick.
Yeah,
I think like Reese is Reese? Yeah, Reese in the comments just said he thinks Wolves are going to struggle. The manager's left. I think Wolves are going to struggle. They're down.
We'll see. We play them Monday night.
Yeah, that's going to be an opening game. But you haven't got the best record against them in recent times. So
it's always tight games there.
I tell you what, I think then, like, not that they're going to be challenging at the top, but who's done good business is Luton. They signed Ross Barkley yesterday.
Yeah.
Who else? They signed a couple of good ones.
I think they'll be the whipping boys, though.
Nah, I don't think. I don't know. Like, it's hard to say, innit? Because a lot of their players are Championship.
And Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, I worry for because I don't see them doing the same level of business. Like Luton have made at least some clever like Premier League signings. Oh, Reece just reminded me in the comments. What do you make of this one? David Raya going from Brentford to Arsenal on loan for $3 million, and then basically if he plays a certain amount of games, they'll sign him for 24 or whatever. Like, is that just because Arsenal are worried about what's his head?
Ramsdale.
What's his name? Yeah. But surely David Raya wants to play week in, week out, doesn't he?
He might do.
But if he's number 2 at Arsenal,
I don't think he'll be number 2. I think as soon as he gets in, he'll play. He's a better keeper.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But how much did they pay for Ramsdale? Quite a lot, wasn't it? He was their big signing.
They're going to play a lot of games, then, mate. You're going to play about 55, 60 games.
Yeah, but the competition for the Spanish number 1 at the moment, I think David
He'll
Raya
play
is
the
number
majority,
1.
and Ramsdale will still play 20 games, 25 games.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing, Ramsdale had a poor end to the season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like when they were bottling it, he was.
Mate,
at the
all you're doing is bringing in quality and having healthy competition. All that does is make you better. It's as simple as that, especially at the highest level as well. If you've got someone, that's why these United teams and these City teams have done so well, because they've got 2 11s. So probably the hardest games they play is probably in training. So, if you're not on it, you don't play. So it's just a high level. And once you get that, then, you compete at a high level every week because the players you're training with are just on a different level. And that's what Arteta's doing. It's good for him. What's Ramsey going to do? Either embrace it, go, all right, sweet, I'm still going to be number 1, or go, oh, no, this is not on this. Oh, this is not fair. There's 2 ways you can take it.
Yeah, I suppose if one of them sold,
you'd be the second, you'd be the latter. I'd be like, bring it on. You'd be like, oh,
no. I prefer. Like I say to my boy all the time, like you got to battle and show every training session. You got to show why you should be picked. Otherwise, someone else will get your space because there's boys there who want to play. But like, I just look at it, and Ramsdale wants to be England number 1. He's trying to push Jordan Pickford. Raya is the
start size. Stop. He's not going to be number 1.
No, I don't think he will. But in his mind, that's what he's aiming for. He's the number 2 for England. He's number 1 for Arsenal. Raya is number 1 for Spain. Number 1 at Brentford. It doesn't make sense to me from their individual points of view. From Arsenal's point of view, I think it's makes sense, doesn't it? I have 2 quality keepers, but they spent 30 million on Aaron Ramsdale like last summer.
Good competition. Good coming on, and United had the Gay and they had that Romero.
But wouldn't they be better spending that money on a striker because they haven't got one?
Well, they didn't plan on Jesus getting injured, did they?
But even so, they've only got one. Like I think we all saw that Eddie and Nketiah wasn't quite.
They got Eddie Nikita.
Oh, but he doesn't score. Like
he doesn't score. He was scoring goals for him when he was out all last year.
He didn't score many, did he? He did not score many.
Have a look. He got in double figures. He stopped scoring.
He missed loads of chances.
Hey, how many score?
I don't know. He's not up to Premier. I don't even think he's a top level Premier League player. Like he's like a Premier League guy, just not in the elite. So he's only scored 14 goals in 89 appearances in his career for Arsenal.
Right, but how many did he score last year?
What are we? 22, 23. 4, 6. He scored 9 goals in 39 appearances.
There you go. So he's not.
But what? So he's going to carry the line for Arsenal this year.
No,
he's not going to win. He's not going to win in the league, is he?
That's one of the reasons why I said they'll struggle. But what are you going to get for £3 million, Si? That's what they're spending on him. They've just spent $1 million. They've got this Timber. They've got Havertz for 60 million. They've just spent fucking nearly 200 million quid.
Yeah, maybe Havertz is going to surprise
the
us.
Striker, are you looking at north of 50 million quid?
Do you know what though? I will stick up for Nketiah in one way. In the same way I stuck up for Højlund last week when people were saying he scored 9 goals last year. So Højlund, when people were saying, oh, he scored 9 goals last year. Yeah, but if you work out how many minutes he played, he averages a goal every other game. And I think Nketiah is probably about that. So
yeah, so he's a year on, got a bit more experience, he'll probably play more. So you give him the chances. He's like a poor man's Ian Wright.
Yeah, I just think his finishing. Maybe he can come good. I don't think he's a bad player. I wouldn't be
you
thinking
bring someone else in. You pay someone else in, and who's there about? If you don't, maybe they should have done that with the Havertz money.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, that's why he just doesn't make any sense to me at all. But like they're floating that Balogun, like Reece has just said there, that Balogun who's in their ranks, who's a young striker. They're quoting him 50 million to people. If people want to buy Balogun, which is mental, mate. Like Balogun, who's like 3rd choice striker at Arsenal, like a young lad, and teams are coming in to buy him, and Arsenal are quoting him 50 million. So it's like maybe he's going to get some goals, but there is strikers around. Lukaku's up for sale. Vlahovic is up for sale. There was Thuram was on a free before he went somewhere. I don't know, mate. I just don't think Arsenal with the strikers, the forwards that Arsenal have now, I don't see them scoring enough goals to win the league. Basically, I'd say that's about where I stand on Arsenal.
Correct. Great. So in agreement.
Which United signing are you most excited to watch? Onana.
Oh, the centre forward.
He looks good, mate. From everything I've seen, he looks very, very good. But
yeah, the centre forward.
If you listen to like lazy people on TalkSport and that, they'll tell you that he's a poor man's Haaland, but they're completely different strikers. Like the way they play is completely different. I actually think Arsenal should play Balogun as their striker ahead of Nketiah. I quite like Balogun.
Yeah,
he is young.
You never know. You might see him. They might have to.
Yeah, I wonder if they might dip back into the market, mate. But then, like you said, they've spent what? What'd you say? 200 million?
200 million quid.
Fucking hell. I wore
160 on 2 players.
I don't get the Havertz one, and that's why Havertz makes no sense to me. But
well, obviously he's got a plan for him. Arteta thinks I know what I can do with this kid, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got to give it time, I suppose. I think Forest have done some good signings. They brought in Alanga from United, and I just
got rid of the shit from last year. Who were not
they got rid of Lingard and like people who didn't do it.
Anthony Alanga, 15 million, good business. He'll do well from him.
Yeah, I think he'll get a few assists when he score a couple of goals.
Few goals, yeah. He's quite lively, direct, so yeah, he'll do well for them.
And then they signed Matt Turner from Arsenal, who's Arsenal's backup keeper, but he's a USA international, good keeper. They want Henderson from United as well, so they got 2 decent keepers because obviously Navas has gone back to Paris, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's have a look at the league, mate, and see who you think.
Time is it?
8:35.
Oh, close time.
So, what's your predictions for relegation, mate? What's your 3 teams you think got most likely to go down?
Luton, Sheffield United.
You think they're definite down, do you?
Well, yeah, Leeds, Sheffield United, and either Wolves or Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think I said Wolves, Bournemouth, and Sheffield United was my three, because
Not Luton.
it's very unusual that all the teams who come up go down. I fancy Luton over Sheffield United.
I fancy Burnley to do really well.
The one thing with Burnley, mate, I think, is I'm not sure they'll get the goals because they're playing Weghorst up front at the moment. But
no. Weghorst has gone on a season-long loan to.
He's gone now, is he?
Yeah, seen that yesterday.
Where did he go?
Is it somewhere in Germany?
Oh, okay. So who's Burnley going to play up front? Then let's have a look.
Oh, but looking at Vincent Kompany and how he's working and how he's operating, got him back really early, so they'll be really fit. So I think they'll surprise a few this year.
Yeah, I mean, they had that Nathan Teller up front, scored 19 goals last year, Jay Rodriguez. So, actually, interestingly, their 4 strikers last year scored 19, 13, 11, and 10. So they all kind of chipped in.
That's what you need. That's what you need. I tell the football team that I manage on Saturday, you can't just rely on this centre forward. I know he scores 30 goals a season, but everyone has to chip in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just not going to win as many games. So, but yeah, it helps when most of the team is, or half the team is scoring double figures.
Definitely. Who do you think? So let's not quite go to the top 4 in the title race yet. You got those 3 Europa League places, haven't you, below the top 4? What teams do you fancy, apart from the usual, that may be able to pinch one of them? Like a Brighton or a Brentford or someone like that, who maybe can pinch one. Fulham, maybe. Fulham's midfield next year could be Fred, Paulinho, and someone else. Pereira,
yeah.
Looks like Mitrovic is staying as well.
I've got a sneaky feeling that Villa.
Yeah, I think Villa might finish. I think they might push for the top 4. I do.
No, I won't go that far.
I think they're not. I think they're only 1 or 2 off, like one or two good signings.
They've got a good squad and a really good manager. So, yeah, fancy Villa to do well. There's a mid-table clash in there. There'll be a lower. I think there'll be 3 different leagues this year.
So tight, isn't it? Like when you look at it,
the stronger ones are getting stronger because they've got to get level. Although City will come down a bit because they've lost a few players.
Yeah, I think if they lose Kyle Walker, that's going to be a massive blow.
I don't think he's going to go now.
There was a picture on there of him and Pep. They went for a meal the other night, where I would assume Pep was saying how important he is to the team.
Why did he play him in the Champions League final?
This is it, and like he's won the treble, he's won everything with City. Why doesn't he want to go and try, Germany or whatever? I can understand it. Do you think City will run away with the league?
No. I think it'll be a bit tighter. I think they'll still win it, but I think it'll be a lot tighter this year.
Who's going to be the closest to him, do you think?
Either United or Chelsea.
Interesting. Which club who is expecting to finish in the top 4 will miss out?
Arsenal.
Interesting. So you're by the sounds of it, you're quite similar in thinking to what I was thinking about, like top 4, because I think Chelsea not having any European commitments, I think gives them an advantage. Because Pep, what's his face? Poch.
And he doesn't change his teams, once he gets his team.
But he can coach them, can't he? Without having if you look at
you get continuity playing the same team every week. He doesn't. He's not a tinker man. In once he gets his team, he's pretty steady with it.
Like if you look at United last year, after Christmas, it was play a game, rest day, next day preparing for another game. So you're never working on the tactics and how the manager wants to play.
Totally agree. Where this, you have your day off on the Sunday, you come in Monday, you're straight into it. So you have your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then just light one Friday, but you still have it Friday. So you have 5 days of working. So yeah, that's I said that earlier in the week. Definitely,
it's really interesting to me because like I seen comments on Monday and I see some comments now. Like people do not fancy United at all. To they think they're going to be struggling for top 4. So tell me why you think United will be better than they were last year. Because people, I see pundits, I see fans. Nobody thinks the United are going to get anywhere near.
Well, they've upgraded what they've got. The keeper, I think, yes, he will make mistakes, but you've got to expect that when he plays such a high line. You don't expect to make stupid mistakes like getting tackled or stuff like taking big blobs. That's just stupid. But so I think he's an improvement, even though David De Gea was good. But it says something when he's your best player in a team for so long. So, but no, looking at Garnacho's got stronger. Rashford's only getting better. Mason Mount's come in is an improvement.
Amrabat's coming in, isn't he, as well?
Amrabat looks like there's another centre back from Bayern Munich. Who's been touted. Yeah. So if he comes in and the kid from Fiorentina,
Amrabat from Fiorentina, who, by the way, in the final was better than Declan Rice. Just saying.
So he's identified who he wants. So once these players have gone out, the McTominays, the Maguires, the Freds, and that'll free up some money, and then we can bring these players in.
Yeah,
and after that, I think we'll be a lot stronger because then we've got replacement if Varane gets injured, or if Varane gets injured, he likes to put. I mean, if Martinez gets injured, he likes to put Luke Shaw there because he's left-sided. We've seen he's done a very good job there, and he'll play Dallo on the left because Dallo can play either side. But you still rather. But if Varane gets injured, then he's got a replacement, and this kid can play right back as well. So
yeah. Makes sense.
Everyone seems to be getting better. Even Wan-Bissaka, talking of him with a new contract, so he's getting better. So he's obviously been coached, and we can see he's getting better. So another year on, I think the manager implementing what he wants. I think the striker hits the ground running. He needs to score. Well, all these strikers that I see over the years that come. If it's the Andrew Cole, the Dwight Yorks, the Ruud van Nistelrooys, the Van Persies, the Rooneys, I always remember scoring on the first day.
Yeah.
Van Nistelrooy got a couple, Rooney got a hat-trick, Van Persie scored, Andrew Cole, I'm not sure about Andrew Cole, Dwight York scored his day. So it's good to score on your debut, especially if you're a centre forward. So hopefully it's a home game. It's a team that's, that he'll obviously get a few chances and then he can hit the ground running. So that's important. So if he goes 2 or 3, 4 or 5 games without scoring, 70-odd million,
feel the pressure.
He's young, it could go the other way. So he needs to hit the ground, and if that happens, then we've got a chance. Because all we need is a number 9. We've seen that. We can't expect to rely on him because he's only 20-year-old and he scored 9-10 goals last year. So. But he needs patience. But like I say, he needs to hit the ground running because he's a big price tag. He's played at a decent level for a few years now, so he's not wet behind the ears. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting. To me, I think as it is now, like if you assume Amrabat signing, I think as they are now with forwards, I think United will finish top 3, but they won't. It won't be like last day of the season. There's 2 points in it. Like I think City will still win it comfortably if they somehow hijack that Harry Kane deal before the window closes. I think that changes things because all the players he's brought in so far fit to his system or have played for him before. if you add Harry Kane's the perfect striker for the way he plays. That's why he's played Jadon Sancho as a false 9, because he wants the striker dropping deep and linking up play to make space for the wider players to go in behind. So I think Harry Kane makes them title contenders. Without Harry Kane, I think they'll be there or thereabouts, like Arsenal were last year. However, Reese asked an interesting question, which I'd like to discuss. He says, if they sign Amrabat, who doesn't play? Because if you've got a midfield 3 of Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Amrabat, Eriksen, and Kobe Mainoo. But then my answer to that straight away is, if you play in Liverpool or Man City, then you'd play Amrabat
on the right.
You play Amrabat and Casemiro. If you play Luton, you're going to play Casemiro on his own with Bruno and Mount either side. Like you need a squad.
Yeah, the bit of that who's playing well as well. It's what go back to a healthy competition with quality. You know, if you're playing well in training, you're playing well in games, you keep your spot. It's as simple as that. You know, look at Casemiro; he didn't get left out a lot. Bruno, he doesn't get left out a lot, but it likes putting Bruno out on the right. So
I think that's what Mount will do as well, because he plays on the right for Chelsea.
So you'll see them two doing that a lot. You'd probably better Mount being out there than Bruno, because Bruno gives you a lot more inside, in my opinion. So then you've got
I think so.
Amrabat and Casemiro. You know, Eriksen's probably going to lose out. And Kobe Mainoo is one for the future. He's 18. You know, he's only second year in the academy, so I'm getting a pro contract next year. So.
Yeah, I mean, Mainoo, I think, just plays like a few minutes here and there just to give him a taste of it, doesn't he?
Don't get me wrong, mate. If he comes in, he's big enough and strong enough to play. Yeah. And he's proved that in the pre-season. He's just been unlucky with an unlucky injury. But, you know, if he comes in and performs better, then he plays. It's as simple as that. But like you say, there'll be a lot of games. They're the same as Arsenal, 55, 60 games. It's a lot of games. Yeah. And you need, we've been screaming out for depth in quality. And now we seem to be getting it slowly but surely. No one's talking about Martial. If he's on it, he could be a goal scorer or a game winner. So as long as he's not injured.
Yeah, unfortunately for Martial, he started training again today, but you half expected him to be injured next week. It's frustrating, but
I'm saying though, if he's not injured and he's
an absolute asset
off the bench, we've got quality on the bench.
Yeah, definitely. Like Reece says, do you think will they spend 100 million now on Harry Kane after spending 70 odd on Højlund? So my answer to that would be, if they sell Henderson for 30 million, I think it was, they sell McTominay for 40 million, that's 70 straight away.
Maguire 35.
Maguire 35, because the Amrabat deal, according to a lot of journalists, is dependent on Donny van de Beek and Fred going. So all that money, and remember, McTominay and Henderson, they count as academy products. So all the money goes into the pot. So they only have to sell those 3 to then have the money to go and get Harry Kane. But, it's all ifs and buts at the end of the day. As it stands at the moment, I think United have done good business. I think Arsenal have done pretty good business. I think Villa have done very good business. Liverpool need that one midfielder at the moment, and maybe 2. Chelsea, I think Chelsea have been quite. It's weird, because they haven't been quiet about it. Like, they spend ridiculous amounts of money, but they've still got a massive squad, even though they've sold a load of players. And actually, if you look at their squad, it's very, very deep in terms of quality. They got Enzo Fernandez being there for another year. My one worry for Chelsea would be they haven't really got an out-and-out striker. Like, they signed Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal, who is very highly rated, but he's very young. And if he doesn't work, they're kind of down to nobody, because I think the other guy, Broja is injured. And yeah, they're lacking a striker. I'm sure you've got like Raheem Sterling and people like this, but they've got very good attacking players, but they haven't got like an out-and-out striker. To me, not someone who sticks out. They got Levi Corwell back to play in defence. They look solid. I wonder whether he might play like a false 9 with the squad he's got, because he's got a lot of those like technical number 10s, but they haven't got like, like a Drogba or someone like that, Interesting, though, isn't it? Right, give me your top 4 then for the end of the season.
Top 4. So whatever happens, it's staying in Manchester. League. So
confidence.
City, United or City, one of the two. Chelsea, Liverpool.
Interesting.
Arsenal 5th.
Yeah, I think. Newcastle
6th. Tottenham 7th. No, Aston Villa 7th. Tottenham 8th.
Yeah, I think Tottenham struggle this year. With or without Kane, I think they're struggling. Newcastle have done good business. That Tonali's a good signing. They've signed a couple of other good players. All the players that they've signed look like they'll suit Eddie Howe.
It's always a difficult place to go. That always big crowd, big atmosphere. Get right behind the team. It's all about football in Newcastle. So crowd behind them, but they need a good start as well, because it could go the other way.
Just lastly, which British teams or English teams do you think will do well in the Champions League this year?
All of them.
They always seem to do quite well, don't they?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, they expect them all in the quarterfinals, and you're up against the best, aren't you?
Yeah, that was it. Chelsea signed that Nkunku, and then he's got a serious knee injury. That's what I couldn't remember. But yeah, so Chelsea lacking a striker. United have accepted a deal from Fenerbahce for Fred, so that's one straight away. If they get Van de Beek, I think is going to.
He's off. He doesn't want to stay in England anymore. What's the weather? Doesn't he? Think, I'm done with this weather. I'm off.
Get to Spain. He is. Yeah. So
Fenerbahce's hit Turkey, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. No. So Fred's going to Turkey, and Van de Beek's going to Real Sociedad.
I think they go Spain.
And so you get rid of those two, and Amrabat comes
in.
How
much is Van de Beek going for?
Fred's going for 13 million, and Van de Beek doesn't
13.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
And what's Van de Beek going for?
I just haven't looked now because it's not on there. I think it was about 20 something.
See, Van de Beek's not played. Been loaned out to Everton. Fred's been playing for United all over the last 3 or 4 years, and they goes for 13 million.
It's crazy, isn't it? But then Fred's only got a year left.
All right.
Van de Beek. It looks like about 15, 20 million by the looks of it for Van de Beek.
There you go. There's 35 million. Harry Maguire, there's 70 million. We also got McTominay.
That money is interesting. That the money for Fred and Van de Beek adds up to the exact amount that Amrabat is going for. Funny that, isn't it? So yeah, I think United will be interesting. I think Chelsea. I think Liverpool need a good start. If Liverpool get a good start to the league, I think they'll do well. If they have a similar season to last year at the start, I think they're going to struggle because defensively, I think they're all over. They conceded. They've conceded 4 goals twice in pre-season. I know it doesn't really matter, but they're not against like big teams, like teams you've never heard of. So, yeah, I worry for him. Maguire's going to be good for West Ham. I think West Ham get a striker. They'll do all right as well. I think Everton might go down. Might finally catch them this year.
Possibly.
Right then, mate. Don't forget your Super 6 Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's tradition. I nearly forgot. Let's do them now. Right. Predictions. Super 6 to finish us up for 9 o'clock. Got to log into this bad boy. Yes or no then, mate, while I just log into this. Do you think Harry Kane goes to Manchester United this summer?
No. End of next year.
You reckon he goes free next year, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Big wages for
Yeah, you get some. Well, he's going to get like 400 grand a week, isn't he? Next year.
Big wages.
The big boys. Oh, I can't get into my flipping Super 6. There. see if you can get off to a good start now in this Super 6, mate, okay? Come on. I think you're going to have a good season this year, mate, in the Super 6. I could feel it. I reckon you're going to win it. Bring home the prize money. Raise money for charity. Put this mouthy Welshman in his place. And then, you got it. Have you done your fantasy football for it?
Yeah. Changed it last night. Put Haaland and someone else put in. But I can't use Haaland now. So
I bet a load of people took out for Harry Kane, didn't they, when they saw the Bayern Munich?
Yeah, that's what I did. I swapped Harry Kane with Haaland.
Right, first game, Brighton versus Luton.
Oh, Brighton 3-0. Easy.
I got 2-1 Brighton. Everton, Fulham.
3-0. What?
Everton, Fulham. 2-2 I got.
2-1 Fulham.
Bournemouth, West Ham.
2-2.
1-1 draw, that is, all over
2-2.
it. Newcastle, Villa.
1-1.
I gone 2-1 to Newcastle. Brentford, Spurs. I've gone 3-2 to Brentford.
Brentford, Spurs. 2-1 Tottenham.
And then finally, we've got Chelsea, Liverpool. So I went 3-2 to Chelsea because I think both of them defensively are ropey. However, if they play Levi Colwill, Chelsea do, I could see it being 2 or 3-0 to Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. Where's it at? Stamford Bridge?
Yeah.
2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it at 3-2, I think. But, yeah.
2-0 Chelsea.
If you want to join in the prediction league and battle against our football knowledge, then make sure you contact Will, and he'll set you up with the Super 6 and the raise a bit of money for charity, and we'll be ready to go. Right, as always, mate, good to have you back. It's been a pleasure.
All right, bets.
Always appreciate the unfiltered opinions. This is the place to come. No cliches here. Night one.